In this session for ITOM, which is IT Operation Management, we'll be going through few topics which are part of ITOM. The base ones are CMDB, then we have discovery, service mapping, event management, and cloud provisioning and governance. Okay. I add this session, which is welcome to ServiceNow, for the team, like thinking like in case if there are people who are new to ServiceNow or they are just kind of beginner to ServiceNow. So I add this session where I explain what is ServiceNow, what are the interfaces which you use to connect to ServiceNow, and what are other things like list and filters, forms, task, what is service catalog, and so on. So this will help everybody to be on the same page. But this is additional to what we have in ITOM. In the ITOM part, we will talk about CMDB. We'll see how the CMDB, what is CMDB, how it is configured, and how the data is ingested into CMDB, and so on. And then in the discovery part, we will talk about what is discovery, what are mid servers, how the discovery is run, what are credentials and behaviors, what are phases, probes, and classification. And then we'll talk about application mapping, discovery, ACC, horizontal discovery pattern, application discovery pattern, configuration management, and so on. There will be also a few of the troubleshooting phases which we'll talk about in case if we want to learn in the real environment how it happens. Then we have service mapping. We'll talk about what is service mapping, what is horizontal discovery, how the service mapping works, what is service life cycle, what are patterns, what are sections, and what are the reconciliation rules, and so on. In the event management, we'll talk about event management within ServiceNow with respect to CIs and other components which we need to monitor, how an event turns into an alert and how that can be configured as an incident, why event management is important, how that is helpful for the business service owner to monitor their kind of CIs and the dependent kind of infrastructure. And the last part will cover the cloud provisioning and governance. So where we will be seeing that how we can integrate or how we can connect or what is the role of ServiceNow in the public cloud domain. So we will see that how we can manage public cloud through ServiceNow, how we can try to create some catalog which we can use to order ServiceNow resources. So we'll try to cover those things. And we'll also see how we can discover the public cloud assets or CI which are there under your account. When you say under your account, like your company account, who is a tenant in the public cloud. In the discovery part, we will be having a lab setup in AWS where we will be simulating that how the service discovery will work on the servers because we don't have a lab. So we'll use AWS as a lab. And in that, we'll set up a mid server and we'll also create few of the additional servers and we'll try to show that okay how the exactly the discovery runs, how the mid server is installed, how we connect the mid server to ServiceNow, and how the mid server scans other servers in the environment. So for that purpose, what we will be doing is we will be creating a VPC in AWS, which will be a separate network. And in that, we will be installing the mid server and we'll be also creating few servers.
Can you come again? In which we are installing mid server?
So let me give you one example. Are you all able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes. See, in a normal environment, when you are working within the customer network, so this red box is what is you have the discovery setup. You have a mid server and that connects with other servers in the environment. Okay, and the mid server communicates with ServiceNow. This is a normal environment where the network is same. What we are trying to do as a lab, we are trying to recreate this in AWS. So for that, we have to have a VPC, wherein we have the same network, same subnet, and then the IP range also we can have the same kind of flow. So this will help in creating an environment which will be similar to customer environment where the network is same. That is what I was explaining earlier. So we will be creating a VPC within AWS, and then within that VPC we'll create a subnet, and in that subnet we'll have all these virtual machines and mid server installed. Is it clear now?
Okay. Yeah. So any abbreviation for that PPC, or it's just a connectivity
Virtual private cloud.
cloud? Okay.
It's a AWS term. It's not ServiceNow. It's something like ServiceNow is only within red box.
Okay. Got it.
That will be an interesting thing. I'll ask you all of you to get a free account in AWS. I'll share you the steps, and I'll ask you to set up the mid server and install the other servers and do the discovery yourself. If you face any issue, we'll work together. But this will be one of the key project within this course, because that will help you to understand entire end to end, that how the discovery works, how the mid server is installed, how the mid server communicates with other servers for scanning, and what how we can connect, what are the credentials which we are using, and so on. So coming back to the syllabus, and within this, as I said, like this will be a topic which I will go through. We'll try to wind up soon, but this will help everybody to be on board, to be on the same page about ServiceNow, like what is ServiceNow, what is the interface, what is next experience, what is navigation, what is the actual access module, what are list and filters. This is something which we already covered in ITSM, but people who are directly joining ITOM, I think that would be helpful for them. And then, as I said, these the key topics are in the bold. So CMDB, discovery, service mapping, event management, and CPG. Any question till now?
Quick question, Anwar. So will we be covering the IRE and the class manager in that CMDB part? It's not specifically mentioned as a previous syllabus I saw in the video from Gautham Learning on
Yeah,
YouTube.
we'll cover the CI class, what how to create a
Yeah.
CI class, what
And the
is
pattern discovery, right?
and
Okay,
identification and reconciliation rule. It will be part of both discovery and service mapping. It is already there.
great, great. Sorry, I missed it. Yeah, thank you.
The syllabus is
Great.
vast, but I will try to cover whatever is a standard trading module from ServiceNow. Whatever is covered there, we'll cover that. Any other question before we go ahead? Okay. So, since most of you have already worked on ServiceNow, can somebody give me a very short description about ServiceNow? What is ServiceNow?
It's a cloud platform.
Yeah,
It runs on the browser, not with any specific applications.
yeah, good. Anybody else want to add anything? Yeah, so ServiceNow is a cloud-based solution. When we say cloud-based solution, is it means that you do not have to worry about the infrastructure which you have to run in your environment to run ServiceNow. Like you do not need servers, you do not need databases, you do not need any other dependent CIs like network or storage device or so. It is all based on cloud solution, and it is scalable. That is one of the good thing about ServiceNow. It is scalable. You just have to specify the requirement to ServiceNow, and they will take care of the underlying infrastructure. You do not have to worry that how they are going to deliver. Today you are having an organization which is having 1000 employees. Tomorrow that organization kind of takes over another organization which is having an additional 500 employees. So you can just kind of scale it up, and you can add those 500 to your instance. You do not have to worry that how that is going to uh, be done, or what is the infrastructure which is required, or whether we have to add capacity, whether we have to add processor, whether we have to add node servers or storage, and so on. So those all things will be taken care by ServiceNow. So it is a cloud-based solution. It is highly scalable, and again, you can go down as well. Like suppose if you have to reduce the number of users from 1500 to 1000, you can do that as well. So you don't have to worry about the underlying infrastructure. The other key features are, it also allows you to or all the users within internal or external to have a very high performing business environment or technical environment, where you can make use of or you perform your activity without any delay or any kind of much of complication or kind of interdependency which is kind of hindering your work. So it is very kind of collaborative environment which will help to work within the organization, like multiple teams they can collaborate on the same module or the same instance, and they can work on all those things together. So this is not a kind of solution which is in silo like earlier tool, or the vendors or the OEM which were providing these kind of tool. They were having only specialization, like they were only offering few of the module, like this ITSM, like only for incident change and problem, or few of the tools they were only limited to kind of CMDB management or configuration management. Few of the tools were only limited to service mapping and so, and few tools were just limited to how you manage the cloud resources. But ServiceNow has combined all those things together. It helps the business to work collaboratively between the teams, and it helps with the, like ultimately to the business, that they will be able to kind of collaborate and deliver the common goal at no time. Like it is like very instantaneous, and it is be always like what meeting the requirement which is laid down by the client. And then it is highly reliable. So in my experience, I have never seen that you are having or facing outages with ServiceNow, or your data or your instance is not available or so. Although your learning or the PDI one, the personal developer instance might be sometime not available, but that's also once in a blue moon. But when it comes to ServiceNow, there are very, very rare instances where ServiceNow was not available for the customers. So it's a highly reliable solution which helps business drive growth and also ensure that all the team can be accessing this 24 cross 7, 365 days a year for their activities and kind of assignments. As you know, like there are ways which we can access ServiceNow or the interfaces. One is browser, which is the next experience. This is most commonly used. It is like you do not have to install any specific software on your end user device, like laptop or desktop. You would be able to just access it through your browser. It can be Chrome, it can be Firefox, it can be Edge, anything like that. There is no restriction. So that is one of the most popular way of using the ServiceNow. The other interfaces are Now mobile app. This is very useful if for the team members who are on the go, like field service or data center employees or so, because in those cases they will be able to access the applications which are onboarded to on Now mobile app. Now mobile app will not have all the application which is available on the browser. You have to specify, you have to configure those. Whatever is configured on Now mobile will be only accessible to the user. And then you have the restriction like who can access which application or so. But Now mobile is always helpful for people on the go, especially which I said like data center employees or the field service team, or anybody who is on the go and want to approve a few of the requests like catalog or so. So for them it is a useful tool. And then we have the service portal. So this is one of the commonly used interface when we are trying to order any product or service which is available within the organization. It can be external vendor, it can be internal employees as well. And this is the place where most of the employees interact or maybe use it for their day-to-day kind of requirement. If you're working in your organization using ServiceNow, I'm hopeful that once in a while you should have used the service portal for one of the other requests. It can be a kind of a request which can be either for your desktop or laptop or like physical assets, or it can be for a few of the services like reset your password or configuring your email account or something like that. So this is a interface which is helpful for delivering or sorry for requesting any services or products from your organization. The last one is employee center. This is specifically related to the employee experience, and this is the platform where you will be able to ask, or maybe the internal employees, they will be able to communicate, engage, or share the content, experience, or kind of specifically look into the employee related kinds of contents or components which they are looking for, especially like in case of HR policies or any thing which is related to the policy and procedure within the organization. Now, we talk about ServiceNow instance. So, the ServiceNow instance is how the service is being offered by ServiceNow. So, ServiceNow, when you go and buy the kind of solution from ServiceNow, they give you an instance, and most of the time the instance will be given into a kind of development, test or QA and production. These are important because when you are working on ServiceNow, we are making changes, we are customizing ServiceNow. It is always advisable that you make the changes in your dev, check in your test, and then push that into production. That helps that you are not making any change in production directly which can impact the business kind of directly. So it, unlike any other development tool, any other kind of solution provider, ServiceNow also offers these kind of different instances when you go for the ServiceNow solution. So development, test or QA, and production. In the development, the developer will develop the solution. They will try to just understand what is the requirement from the customer. They will develop the solution. They will hand it over to the testing team. The testing team will see that how whether those solution which has been developed is as per the expectation, it's working fine. If there is a workflow which has been designed, that workflow is working appropriately or not, and so on. So once they pass that, they will be pushed to the production. So these instances, as you know, you will be able to access all the three instances through the web browser. And before I go ahead, if you already have your PDI created, your personal developer instance created, it's good. If you do not have it created by now, I will suggest that you go ahead and create the personal developer instance for yourself so that it will be easy for you to go into ServiceNow and kind of explore yourself that what all things are there in ServiceNow. When we are going through the session, you will be able to do it practically when we are not in class like offline. You can check what all things are there, what all options I can get, or what all things I have learned, how we can check it in ServiceNow. So personal developer instance is a very nice place where you can do it yourself. So it's absolutely free. You do not have to pay for anything. You do not have to provide your credit card details or so. It's just absolutely free. You sign up with developer.servicenow.com and you will be able to get your own PDI at no cost. The only condition is that the PDI should be used continuously. If you do not use the PDI in 14 days or so, it may it will go back, it will be kind of dismantled, or it will be taken back by ServiceNow. All your data will be lost. So once in a, you have to keep using your PDI to ensure that it is available for you and it is not taken back by ServiceNow. Now you see that your data is always protected. So even though ServiceNow is offering you instance and ServiceNow have its own infrastructure, but ServiceNow makes sure that your data is protected because ServiceNow is handling all the customers at the same time. They might be using some of the time the same data center for many of the customer, but it never happens that you will be able to see or the data from the other customer is visible to your instance. So that data is protected. That is a very kind of high protection which ServiceNow offers to ensure that your data is never shared with any other customer, and likewise any other customer data is not visible to you. Now, when you learn about further like another topic or some of the other module where you learn about domain separation or so. So within one instance, you can also have multiple domains created. So you just get one instance from ServiceNow, but you can create two domain so that you can allow only user to specifically select or use only a critical like a particular domain. So like you have one organization and there are two business unit or there are two companies within that organization, so you can have one instance and you can create domains so that employees of one company will not be able to access the domain for the other company. So that all things also is offered by ServiceNow. But currently what we have to focus is if you have an instance from ServiceNow, that data is protected. You will not be seeing data from other customer, and likewise your data will not be visible to any other customer of ServiceNow. Now, the use of the multiple instances which we get from ServiceNow is to migrate the solution which has been designed. So, as I said, like when you are creating a solution, it gets created in development, it gets tested in test environment, and once that is fine, once it is as per the expectation, it is then pushed into the production. So this helps in ongoing development and testing, and whenever that solution is ready, it is pushed into the production. So the production is never kind of impacted if there is any solution which was designed and it's not working appropriately. Only when it is checked and tested that yes, the solution is working fine, all the things are as per the expectation, the customer has signed off, then only it will be pushed to the production. Now, there are upgrade which are available. I think these are very simple topics. So, like ServiceNow release an instance every 6 months or so, or like per annum. But every 6 months they will release the instance, the upgraded instance or the new instance or the version upgrade, and they will give you like 6 7 months for that to settle down and upgrade it. So currently, the version which is available for testing is Yokohama, and most of the customer which currently they are, if they are running on their latest version, is on the Xanadu. The ServiceNow instance or version is based on city's name mostly. So last time it is Xanadu, which is the current version. If you configure your PDI, if you're trying to access your PDI, it will ask for you that which version you want to have the instance. So you may get option like Xanadu, Washington, Vancouver. No, I think now you will get Yokohama and Xanadu. You may also get Washington DC. So it's up to you which instance you want to select and have your PDI. But in case if you have new releases, new version upgrade, your organization will be able to upgrade it to the latest version, and that is kind of best practice which ServiceNow has recommended, that whenever there is a version upgrade, the customer should be upgrading it to make sure that they are on the most updated version. Now, before I go ahead, how many of you have certification ServiceNow? Any kind of certification?
Who have CSA and CAT?
Okay, you have CSA and CAT. Ms. Balaji?
Yes,
Anybody?
it is Balaji.
Okay. Anybody else has any other certification?
Yeah, I have CSA.
Okay, good. All of you have given recently or it's old one? In this module in ITOM, we will also try to show you that how you can earn micro certification, which will be available for free. Like you do not have to pay. It will be task based. One of them will be configure your CMDB, and the other one will be the CMDB health. So I'll show you as we go on. When we go into that part, I'll share you the link and I'll share you the steps like how you can do that, but that will be self-explanatory. You can configure, or like you can complete the course. Each step there will be like 10 or 12 tasks which you have to complete in your developer instance. Once you complete that, you will get a certification. It's called kind of micro certification, but it's valid. It's like if you go to ServiceNow site, you will be able to see your certification as well, and you will get a badge. So that will help you to add to your resume. That is also a very good learning experience, because the task which you will go through, you will be able to see whatever we have covered in the class, how relevant it is, and how we are going to use those what we have learned in the class. So that is just one topic I wanted to mention. This login and password, I think you all know that in order to log in, you just go and open the web browser. You put the instance name from ServiceNow which you want to log in, and once you log in, you will be able to see this console. So this is, I think for most of you, it is already, you have seen it many times. This is the console, which is the next browser or next experience. So in this, there are a few headings and other things which I'm sure you must be aware. So there are, this is the application navigator. When you see, you'll be able to see what all applications or components which are available for you to use in this instance. So you can either scroll or you can search. Like suppose you want to go into incident, you can go and search the incident, and you will be able to see whatever is related to incident is visible there. And then you have the favorites, whatever you have searched here. In case if you are looking for that, you will be able to come back to those things time and again. You can just put a favorite mark and it will be available here, so you can just open directly without scrolling or browsing through this application navigator. And history is what you have recently kind of used or you have visited, so that will be stored in the history. If you want to quickly come back to that, you will be able to do that. And then you have the workspaces specific to various module like asset, CMDB, compliance, and so on. And it will be easy for you to guide through that in case if you want to go into directly to that workspace as and when required. This is the capsule which will show you that which profile or which module you are currently. If I go ahead and select service catalog here, it will change to service catalog. So this will show you exactly where you are, which one you are opening or which one you are using currently in ServiceNow. Now, this is the global search box where you can search all kind of incident, change, problem, KB article, user, group, anything you want to search, you will be able to search it there. Then this is the application scope, like in case if you want to specifically use it for an application which is in scope, you will be able to select that. If you select global, then it will be whatever is applicable entirely, like a global level, you will be able to see that. And then you have the sidebar discussion. This is important in case if you're trying to communicate to other teams in your organization for a particular issue or something which is concerning both of you. This is one of the discussion which is used to communicate and collaborate. And then you have the profile. So this notification is also there in case if you are an approver, if you're getting a request for approval for something, you will be able to see there, and you can take action accordingly. And the last one is this profile. So you will be able to see your name, your profile name, your preferences, and one of the important thing is impersonate user. So most of you must have already used this feature. This is an important feature where you will be able to impersonate other user in the organization, and then you will be able to see that from his point of view, from his access, what all things are available. This is useful in case if you are trying to test a solution for a specific user or group, or if you're trying to recreate a issue, or if you're trying to understand the issue which the user is facing, you can always impersonate and do that research. So how many of you have already used all these things like impersonate user and so on?
I used Dunbar, or I impersonated with many users.
Good. So this is all I have explained. These are what part of the next experience. So this is the top tab which I have showed you. What all things are there. It is explained down with details and so on. And then you have some of the features like you can have some preferences, like you can just make some changes based on whatever is your likeness. You can change the display, you can change the theme and so on, but it's up to you like you want to do. But this is one good information to know. It's not so important, but yeah, this is good to know that yeah, you can have some changes based on the items which you want to like the way you want to have the next experience look for you. Now notifications and all those things we have covered. Then we'll go into the workspace. Workspace is good. So suppose this we are trying to go into CMDB workspace. So CMDB workspace is a centralized location where you'll be able to see information which is kind of specific to the CMDB. You will be able to see the CMDB health. You will be able to see what all CIs are there, or what is the total number of CI, what all tasks are pending, what all duplicate CIs are there. So these all things are available in CMD workspace. So same way, you will have workspace for specific things like service operation workspace will show you the overall events and alerts which are generated and how critical they are, what action needs to be taken. So based on that, these are the workspaces which has been designed. You can always create one new workspace, but there are workspaces which are available out of the box. Next is this list view and forms. I think this is easy. So list is something which is showing the records in a list. So if you go and check the incident all, so this is the list view. You will see that all the incidents are part of this list, and there are rows and columns. So you have the number of rows based on the number of incidents are there. So currently in this PDI version, we have 158 incidents. And then you have the columns as well based on the field value. Now, everything, every date kind of information or every data in ServiceNow is part of a table. So when I say part of a table, this is the incident table. From the top, you can see this is the incident table. So if you see incident underscore list dot do, so this is the part of the incident table. In this incident table, you will see all the incidents which has been created or closed or resolved, but basically all the incidents which are there ever created in the organization. Now, when I say every data is part of table or not, or so in ServiceNow, so suppose I take this first one. In the list view or in the table, every row is a record. So incident number one is a record, and the columns will be showing the fields or field value. So if I open this, we will transform from list view to the form view. In this, you will be able to see one specific record which we have opened. We have the incident number, and then we have the field values. So these are the field value which you can see: caller name or category or closed impact and so on, and assigned to assignment group and so on. So the row will be the record, particular record in the table, and the columns will be the field and field value. So these are the two methods. Like one is the list view. This is important, like in case if you want to list down all the CIs in the environment, or if you're trying to list down all the Windows servers in the environment, or if you're trying to list down all the incidents which are created for a specific CI, all these things can be easily viewed on a list. And form is where as I said, it display one record. And suppose you have one incident there. If you open that incident, it will show the form for that incident, but that will be limited to only one record. Then you have the dashboards. So dashboards are important. Dashboards will give you the kind of graphical representation of your data. You can create the dashboard as per your requirements. You can create a dashboard with respect to the CIs, CMDB, incident, changes, whatever you want to do. So, like suppose these are the ones which are available in my PDI. I'll just try to open if something is showing up here. But in short, dashboards are good if you are having a daily stand-up call with your team or your client or so. You can always create a dashboard to show that where you exist, what all things are already in control, what all things you think that it's require attention and so on. So dashboard is a place where you can have graphical representation of data. So these are the few kind of tabs which is already created. This is the ITOM licensing dashboard. It is showing the visibility, what is the number of average subscription consumption and containers, devices, and so on. Then it's also showing the discovery is no data or display. I think it's not configured. But dashboard, as I said, dashboard is a place where you can have graphical representation of your data, and it is helpful for presentations or daily calls or meeting with the client or meeting with internal stakeholders. There you will be able to show that where what are the key things which you want to show or focus. It is much better than the list which we are seeing earlier. It is like a specific, you can have number of incidents open today, unassigned incidents, overdue incidents, open incidents, and so on. For example, like overdue incident, it is critical, like if you see that these incidents might have not been attended till now and that needs attention, so you will be able to see it clearly and take action accordingly. So dashboard is one of the method to share the data. And then knowledge articles. I am sure that you must have heard of knowledge article. Knowledge article or knowledge base article is a place where information sharing happens. You can create knowledge article for a specific topic or anything which is a known issue or something which you want to design as a process, or if you want to inform other team members that in case if you're looking for something like this or if they are looking for some specific thing, they can follow these steps or they can just refer to this knowledge article to help themselves. So knowledge articles are good. It is a very kind of easy way of sharing or collaborating information between the teams within the organization. It can be also shared outside the organization with the external like vendors or client or agents or so on. And then comes the important one is service catalog. So service catalog is important because this is the place where most of the users always go and raise request for a kind of service or product. And service catalog has a category. It is designed like with based on the catalog which you have, the catalog category, whether it's a service or it's a hardware request or it's a software request, or if it's for desktop or mobile or office or peripherals. So based on that, there are category which has been already created out of the box, but you can always create a new category as well, and you can put your catalog within that. So when you click on this topic or category, you will be able to see all the catalogs which are part of those what do you say category. So in this, it is a service. So in this, you will see that add or remove users from the group, copy of domain name, registration and DNS on new email account, Power BI request, update DNS, big data analysis. So all these kind of these are all catalog. So when we say catalog, catalog is a process by which you will be able to raise request for yourself or for the others and get that done. So once this catalog is raised, a kind of corresponding RITM and service request is raised, and that RITM is assigned to the team who's supposed to work on that. And once they fulfill that, it will be a notification sent to the requester that it has been processed or so. In case if that catalog requires multiple team efforts, like suppose you joined a company as a new employee and you raise a catalog request for new employee onboarding, like asset alignment or asset deployment or so. So you may be able to kind of have a bundle where you can allow the user to raise request for his laptop or her laptop. At the same time, another request in the same bundle catalog will be for creation of an email account. These things can be also done. So catalog is one of the kind of interface where it is maximum used by the users for getting the delivery of their services or any products which they need to. Uh, have anybody worked on service catalog? Have you created a service catalog and designed the workflow, how it will be done, what will happen after approval, and so on?
Yeah.
Yes, Anwar, I
Yes,
have
Anwar.
worked on.
Okay. So, what was the service catalog? Can you explain? Like maybe for the others who are new, they will be helpful for them.
Service catalog is a place where user can raise the request, order something, or there are few types of catalog. Like there is a record producer, which will be directly create a record into task-based record or any custom table we wanted to create from the front end, like from the portal. And we can order multiple request into a single multiple request into a single where it will be like a order guide. So yeah, these are the types I would say of service
Okay.
catalog. And in the backend, there might be some workflow or flow designer, approval process, everything that we can configure as part of this.
Okay. So, did you kind of design the workflow also?
Yes, yes.
Like once the service catalog is submitted, it will go for the approval. Once the approval happens, it will open the task, and that task will be assigned to the team who are supposed to work on
Correct.
that. And
Yeah,
once all those tasks are closed, it will
yeah,
close
yeah.
the RI team and notify the user. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Yeah. So as like service catalog, you must have raised, like within your organization, you must have raised service catalog for maybe like your laptop or so. If you see, once you raise that service catalog, you will get a notification that this request has been raised. And in the background, the workflow will trigger. So the workflow will uh, go to the manager for approval. Once he approves, then the workflow will create a task. So that task maybe will go to the asset management team or the team who is supposed to deploy the hard laptop to you. And at the same time, it may also go to the shipping team or the logistic team, who will ensure that once the laptop is assigned, they will be able to send it or ship it to your address where you have requested. And once all these tasks are completed, you will be able to see that the RITM or the service request will be automatically closed. So this is a simple workflow which is designed to ensure that once you raise the service or product request or service catalog, it will ensure that each stage it is set what needs to be done, who has to do what, and a notification can also be triggered that in case if once the approval is generated, it will go create a task, and that task will be assigned to a team, and then you can also have a notification for that team that you have assigned a new task, and accordingly they can take action. So this is a simple workflow for a service catalog. If time permits later on, I'll try to show you one of the I'll try to create one service catalog and show you that how we can attach the workflow there, and we'll try to place an order and see that how the workflow works. Okay. So coming back to our syllabus, so this is what we have covered till now. Service catalog, as I said, you can go to developerservice.servicenow.com and you can request for your instance or personal developer instance. You have to just sign up with your email address. Once you sign up, you will be able to request for the instance, and it will happen like within no minutes. And once you have that running, it would be always good so that you can always practice, or you can see, you can visit yourself and do it yourself. Unless you don't do it yourself, it will be very difficult for you to remember or become an expert. So this is one of the good ways ServiceNow offers you a free developer instance, which allows you to do the testing and you will be able to add plugins as we go on. So like all the plugins will not be available in your personal developer instance. Like for example, discovery might not be available, or mid server might not be available. So all those thing kind of plugins which are important for those things, we will be able to download it for free from ServiceNow store, and then it will be added to your instance so that you can practice yourself. That is all for today's session.